Okay, so our article first starts with the scenario. We see that Paige is walking to the school bus stop. So it's early in the morning, it's a school day, she's getting ready to school. We see that she's in a very good mood too because she says, it's a lovely day today.
Okay, so it's not going to be the rain that spoils her day, it's not going to be a car that shoots past and splashes her with water. But what we do see in the next picture is that Paige's school bus leaves without her.
Oh,
She was maybe too busy looking at the nice weather and the clouds and the sun and just enjoying it that she didn't get to the bus stop on time and it's gone.
And this is what Paige says. She says, oh no, I missed the bus.
Oh dear. So we next see in the pictures that Paige arrives at school 20 minutes late. Now, of course, that's going to get her in trouble. And we see that her teacher scolds her. Now, this word scold I used there is spelled S-C-O-L-D, scold. It's a verb, and it's basically to tell someone off because they did or you believe they did something bad and you want to let them know you are unhappy and warn them not to do it again. So you tend to be scolded by people like teachers, parents, maybe a boss at work, someone who's in a higher authority position, but your friend could scold you if you did something wrong. Your friend's like, don't do that again. You made me really upset and angry.
That's
so
right.
basically, we could also say to tell someone off.
All right, so let's see what her teacher says. She says, Paige, you'll have to stay behind after class. Don't be late again.
Oh, there we go.
We see the teacher scolding her. Now, of course, when you get scolded, okay, when someone scolds you, you might feel kind of bad. So in this picture, we say that Paige looks a little bit upset, or she looks upset, and she's very sad because she has to stay behind. Now, nobody wants to stay behind after class, right? Okay, because what happens when you stay behind? It means that other people, like other students, can leave class on time, but then Paige cannot. She has to stay later than everyone else because she got in trouble for being late to school.
Yeah, she has to. It's like a punishment. The teacher will say, stay behind after class. There's another word we can use, which is detention, which is where you have to stay late maybe for a whole hour and do extra work. And all of that's a punishment as well. Okay, now we're going to move the day on. She's already had a bit of a bad day at school. And later, we see that Paige is at home and the Wong family is having dinner, sitting around a table, normal stuff.
Now, of course, you know, Mrs. Wong, being the mom, she wants to make sure that everyone is, you know, happy having dinner. So she says, how was your day, Paige?
Okay, innocent enough question, but Paige obviously had a bad day and she's going to tell them about it. She says, this morning I was enjoying the nice weather and I missed the bus. So in that sentence, Paige talked about the weather. She was enjoying the nice weather. And that word weather is our first word power word for today. It's a noun and it's spelled W-E-A-T-H-E-R. Now, weather is the conditions in the air above the earth, such as wind, rain. We could also use it to talk about whether it's hot or cold, just anything that's going on with the air and the sky and maybe some water. And we talk about it at a particular time, like today it's very sunny, or a particular area, like it's raining in Geelong today, as usual. Here's another example sentence. The weather is bad today, so we are not going to the beach. The weather is bad today, so we are not going to the beach.
Maybe she was just trying to, you know, make a conversation and tell her mom something. But Mrs. Wong said, you should keep an eye on the time. So her mom got a little bit upset. She said, come on, you could have, you know, watched the time a little bit. When you keep an eye on something, this phrase means to watch something very closely and carefully. Okay, so for example, I can ask Pat, can you keep an eye on the stove?
Sure.
It means that Pat should watch the stove closely, so maybe the food doesn't burn or, you know, the stove doesn't catch on fire. Maybe if you have a younger sibling, like a younger brother or sister, maybe your parents will say to keep an eye on your younger brother or younger younger sister. It means to watch your siblings very closely so they don't get into trouble, they don't get hurt, and stuff like that.
Exactly. Okay, now her mom, because Paige has already been told off by her teacher, now she's getting another lecture from her mom. You should keep an eye on the time. Of course, Paige knows this.
Yeah.
So we see Paige get angry. She's fed up of people telling her stuff she already knows.
Right, and then she says, yes, I know. So she kind of releases her emotions. She says, yes, I know. I made a mistake. You don't have to remind me, right? So I can understand. First, you get told off by your teacher, and then you get scolded by your mom.
Or maybe her dad's going to say something, maybe her granddad, who knows?
I know. So she feels like, oh, I know all this. You don't have to remind me again. Now, remind here is our word. Power word is spelled R-E-M-I-N-D, remind. Remind is a verb and it means to let someone think of something again. You let them remember this thing again. Now we can also use it as a noun and that would be changed to a reminder, R-E-M-I-N-D-E-R, reminder, and that's the noun form. Now reminder is a word or a message or something that helps someone remember something else. So for example, I can say you have a doctor's appointment. I'll write down a reminder for you on the calendar. In this way you can remind yourself that you have an appointment. Now let's take a look at our sample sentence. We can say, Linda's mom reminded her to go to her grandma's house after school. Linda's mom reminded her to go to her grandma's house after school.
Okay, so Paige has kind of snapped there. She's kind of yelled a bit back at her mom. So her dad interferes or he says something. He says, don't talk to your mother that way, Paige.
Oh.
So, you know, she was just getting angry about being told off, and now she's being told off even more for reacting. Poor Paige.
I know, but we all go through that, I'm pretty sure. All right, so next we will see in their scenario, Jimmy takes a picture of Paige with his phone, and the twins use an app to make fun of her. So this is probably something that happened a little bit after dinner. You know, they've finished
it's at dinner.
It's at dinner time.
Because Paige is kind of angry, so they're taking a picture.
I see now.
Yeah,
and then Jimmy and Timmy are here.
Take a picture, and so Jimmy says, look, it's Angry Paige, and they're using this app, and he says, I made her eyes red. So they've used their app, Paige's angry face, to make it look even more angry.
Oh man, and then Timmy, he's making it even worse. He says, ha ha, put a thunderstorm over her head. So the boys are having fun at making fun of Paige, and they said, okay, she has red eyes, now let's add a thunderstorm over her head. Now, a thunderstorm is basically a storm with thunder and lightning. Now, usually when people are angry, it feels like they have a thunderstorm kind of brewing above their heads because we know that thunderstorms can be very dangerous. They're unpredictable. We don't know what happens. So this is kind of like Paige's emotions right now. She's getting a little bit angry. We don't know what's going to happen to her and how she's going to react.
Yeah, and we often see it in cartoons that an angry person has the storm. So now Paige loses her temper again. She yells at her little brothers and says, you two are so childish. And we use childish there in all capital letters to show that she's yelling. Childish is an adjective. It's spelled C-H-I-L-D-I-S-H, childish, and it's our next word power word. So if someone is being childish, they are behaving in a silly way that makes them seem like they are much younger than they really are. It's a kind of a bad thing. We're not saying you're being childlike and you're feeling happy and playful. We're saying, no, you're acting like a child. You should be acting like an older person, a more mature person. So childish is a bad thing. Here's an example. Someone could say, stop being so childish. You are a senior high school student now. Stop being so childish. You are a senior high school student now.
Oh man, poor Paige. She must be even
yelling
more
at her brothers,
now.
getting super angry.
Exactly. And then we see in the next scenario, Paige runs out without finishing her dinner. Oh, that's right. They're still having dinner. She's so angry.
She runs off.
She can't even deal with seeing her family, her brother, so she leaves dinner without saying goodbye or even finishing it.
Yeah, and now we see that Paige is in her room, so she's just kind of gone upstairs, like, leave me alone.
And then she says, why does everyone have to keep making me mad? Sometimes I hate my life.
Oh.
I definitely have felt this way before when I was a student and my little brother was, making me angry. So you feel like basically the whole world is against you. And she says, I hate my life. Why does everyone keep making me mad? Now we see the power word keep here. It's spelled K-E-E-P, keep. Keep is a verb, and when you keep on doing something, it means you continue to do something, or you do the same thing many, many times over and over again. For example, we can say, the cat keeps making a strange noise. Is it sick? The cat keeps making a strange noise. Is it sick?
Well, that is actually where we're going to leave day one. Paige feeling angry, hating her life and everybody because they keep making her mad.
That's right.
Now,
I'm sure we've been through this before.
Yeah. Now, are they going to get any better? Well, you're going to have to tune in tomorrow to see what happens that maybe changes things and turn things around for Paige. Right now, though, we're going to go to today's wrap-up activity.